Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here tonight, extra early, to do a live reaction and a review to One Piece, chapter 1115. Now, normally I do these on Sundays when the official Viz comes out, but I was like, you know what? Let me try and get in early. Let me try and get in the day that the scans come out. Let me just test the waters a little bit. So we're going to be testing this out. Now, you guys may notice I do have a giant straw hat logo over the chapter, over the pages, and that is to avoid any issues with copyright, any issues with Shueisha Shonen Jump. It is unfortunately necessary. So that is going to be on screen. Usually I try and make it transparent, but I haven't had a lot of times to really mess with the live stream editing, and we'll figure it out as we go along. Next week we may do something a little bit different. But for now, that logo is going to remain right there in order to avoid copyright issues. Of course, the chapter is out. You guys can go Google it and find it out there. The chapter has been released, so you guys can go check it out for yourself. But we're going to have the logo there to avoid any copyright issues because I really don't want to do a Shueisha and I don't want to lose my channel. All right, so is Vegapunk still cooking? Are we going to get more of the message? I would assume so. I would assume we're going to get more of the message tonight. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's jump into One Piece chapter 1115. And by the way, in case you're wondering, why is there like two screens here, like one with me and then one that's just like a black screen? I was streaming earlier on my gaming channel, which is linked down in the description box down below. We were talking about Kingdom Hearts. I was streaming over on my gaming channel. I had some Kingdom Hearts gameplay footage going on in the background. For some reason, when I do gameplay footage, it fucks up the camera for some reason, and so like my audio is coming through the black screen and I have to have my face here to do the live reaction down here, but the second camera, which on my face, doesn't do the audio. I don't get it. It's weird. That's kind of the one big problem I have with my streaming software. Hey, what's up, Failure? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? All right, so let's jump into this chapter of One Piece. One Piece chapter 1115, Continental Fragments. Continental Fragments. That sounds like Void Century stuff right there. All right. So we have the Yamato cover story. Only Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 5. Getting a bento from Hiyori and Otaku. All right, good stuff. I really hope the Yamato cover story is leading to something epic, like maybe Blackbeard coming to Wano to get Pluton. Well, we'll see. All right. The flower capital, Wano. All right, here we are in Wano. Okay. The flower capital, Wano. It's hard to believe this foreign transmission is reaching us. We found the snail in the castle among Orochi's possession. Okay. So they had a transponder snail in the castle that belonged to Orochi. All right. So Vegapunk says, now you may be wondering how he came to be known as a pirate. Obviously, we're talking about Joy Boy. Momonosuke, so you were a pirate, Joy Boy, just like Luffy. You know of him, my lord? Yes. Obviously, Joy Boy has a big connection to Wano Country. All right. A jail cell at the G4 Naval Base. What the hell? It's like a fat kid. What the hell? Fake kid pirates? Whatever. Joy Boy, who cares? I bet you could beat him easily, right, Captain Kidd? What the fuck? Duh, the man's already dead. That's our captain. The only thing bigger than his confidence is his belly. Yeah, I'm clearly a million times tougher than this Joy Boy. It's Joy Boy, boss. Or Joy to. Oh, wow. Okay. Who am I supposed to remember these guys? The fake kid pirates. Am I supposed to remember these guys? I don't remember these guys. All right, the message continues. Do bear in mind, I only have access to a handful of poneglyphs, but their combined narrative clearly chronicles an unbelievable history about a great war in the distant past. Oh my God. We are actually getting Void Century stuff. Robin, where you at? Robin, come on, man. Robin's got to be involved in this. During that period, Joy Boy faced an enemy, the organization now known as the World Government. And the Marines are like, wait, isn't that us? Well, he did say he was a pirate. Sheep. Fucking sheep. Back then, they were merely the Allied powers, a temporary coalition consisting of 20 separate kingdoms, and Mars is pissed. It can be assumed that an alliance was the only feasible way to oppose the formidable faction to which Joy Boy belonged. I am afraid that the cause of this conflict still eludes me. All right, so that's still a mystery. Why did this all start? So I do not presume to judge the morality of the combatants. However, I can say that this was a clash of two opposing ideologies. I mentioned earlier that Joy Boy was born into a fantastical civilization. Also, it is interesting in the image behind Vegapunk. You have Joy Boy looking like the Nika fighting what looks like three kings, all in silhouette. Or three monarchs, I should say. So the Minks are reacting to this. He belonged to a fantastical civilization, one so advanced that it is hard to believe it existed over 900 years ago. The weapons that existed during this century-long struggle are far beyond our modern science. The Foxy Pirates, okay. What's that peanut-headed fool saying? Ah, boss, you're making me hungry. The message continues. Such technology is baffling even to a genius such as myself. And therein lies our problem. Mars is just tearing up the labostratum. Haku. Stussy? Lower the barrier and hightail it out of there. But I can't. What if something were to happen to the Straw Hat crew? Wait. Hold up. Is this Saturn talking? I'm going to be straight with you. There ain't no point in the barrier no more. Not when there are monsters on the island who can ignore it. No. It's talking about Saturn. Okay, I was about to say, well, what the hell? All right, that was a little bit confusing. We've done all we can for them. I'm sure they'll make it somehow. The Straw Hats are hauling ass. All right, Nami. Oh, okay, that's Nami over the phone. All right, or the transponder Snell, I should say. Now hurry up. They're moving their ships to blockade the northeast coast. I'll never forgive you if we get blasted out of the water after all this. That's good to hear. I was worried Stella would never forgive me if I let them get caught. As if, now get your ass out of here. But I don't know what to do with myself. Now that Stella's gone, who am I meant to live for? I have no purpose. Kaku is showing sympathy. He says, "Wait, One Piece is still going on?" Yeah, it's in the final. It's in the final saga. But yes, Oda said it was going to go on for another 3 years. In all honesty, given how slow Oda writes, I'm going to say another 5. It's going to be my guess, probably. We'll see. We'll see. But we are in the final arc. We are in the final, or not the final arc, the final saga, not the final arc. Obviously, Elbaf is next. Don't let him use his sword. This geezer can cut anything. Oh, Nostro. Okay, Nostro. He's after Bonnie. Frankie saves Bonnie. Good job, Frankie. All right. Vegapunk's message continues. The Void Century ended with Joy Boy's defeat. Shit. And Venus Joro is pissed. How much do you intend to say, Vegapunk? He's dipping. He's leaving the fight so he can. He's going to to back up Mars, I guess? Is it all one continuity, kind of like Star Wars? Yes. It's all one continuity, one story that has been going on for almost 30 years. Yes. There are too many life forms up here. The way that the Gorosei talk, referring to everybody as life forms, it's weird. Like, what are they? Like, aren't they life forms too? That would be like I've got my dogs over here in the corner. That would be like me saying these life forms. It's like no, I'm a life form too. Like that. I don't know. Like I'm starting to think that they are like some kind of demons or they are extensions of Emu. Would be my guess. But let's continue. All right. So the message continues. But the aftermath had grander consequences. The wake of that ancient conflict scarred the world, and those scars never healed. We had the seraphim, and the message continued. What are these ruins? Okay, message continues. We all now travel between islands. We all know travel between islands can be excruciatingly difficult. The seas one must traverse are so vast and perilous, most people are content to live and die at their place of birth, never experiencing any culture other than their own. That is common knowledge to us now, but it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. Okay, so we went from 900 years ago to 1,000 years ago. So we're like at the beginning of the void century, I guess. But it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. A cataclysmic ecological disaster occurred during the void century, and the ancient world was swallowed by the ocean. We are now living atop the remnants, continental fragments of the land masses that once were. The world of a millennia ago sleeps unseen at the bottom of the ocean. Wait. Wait. All right, so besides the red line, we all know that the One Piece world consists of many different islands. But according to this, there were legit continents on the world of One Piece. And they all sank. So it wasn't just like it wasn't just like an Atlantis type of thing where it was like this one ancient continent. No, it was like all the continents on Earth just or whatever the One Piece world is called, they just sunk. Failure says that must be the number one reason why manga is killing American comics, along with new interesting IPs. Yeah, because let's be honest here, the West is creatively dead. I mean that's just the truth. The West is creatively dead. The East is where it's at. All right, Vegapunk continues. We see Nami's sister. All right, so Vegapunk continues. I know it is hard to believe on my word alone, but there really were multiple vast continents back then. Oh my god, the world was crazy different. This change in the world helps explain how a century of history could be censored, a feat that seems nigh impossible, but it makes sense when you consider the undeniable conclusion all the data points to. Within a mere century, the average sea level rose by a staggering 200 meters. Wait a minute. How much is that? Hold up. How much is 200 meters in feet? I know. Dumbass American. 656.168 feet. That's a lot of water, man. A warship's only 60 meters tall. No wonder the old world disappeared. The Marines are listening intently. Like I said in my prediction video about Vegapunk's theory, or Vegapunk's speech, it is going to create conflict and dissent within the ranks of the world government and the Marines. And I believe it is going to cause a civil war within the world government and within the Marines. And I thought it would just be within the ranks of the Marines, honestly. But given Saint Charles or whatever his name is, fuck it, the one girl Celestial Dragon in the last chapter, given her reaction, it may be that there's even a civil war among celestial dragons because some of them don't even know their own history or how they gained power, how they came to control the world. So they may end up turning on each other. I mean, this could be, if this creates a civil war within the world government, like I think it might, that would open up the opportunity for Dragon to come in and make his move because the world government would be at its weakest. Okay, they're going to rescue the Seraphim and the Cypher Pole agents. Oh, Chopper's hometown. Kureha. Even now, the world still finds a way to keep things interesting. That begs the question. Okay, so the message continues. That begs the question, how and why did such a flood occur? Naturally, your first inclination might be to assume it was some kind of natural disaster. Excuse me. However, I can say for certain that it was no such thing. It was a man-made calamity. If this catastrophe was brought about by natural means, there would be records denoting early warning signs several centuries earlier. It was a severe world world altering event after all. But all my research into meteorology, geology, and ecology and atmospheric science confirmed that there was no such natural buildup. It is impossible for such a drastic change to happen spontaneously within the span of a mere 100 years, meaning the cause lies elsewhere. My suspicions were confirmed a few days ago when I analyzed the world's current sea levels. This this will be hard to accept, but that disaster 800 years ago was caused by ancient weapons, technology capable of sinking the world. So here's the thing: if the weapon that destroyed Lelouchia Kingdom, that Emu used to destroy Lelouchia Kingdom, when Lelouchia Kingdom was destroyed by that weapon, it caused the sea level to rise by like a meter or something like that. If Vegapunk is saying that the ancient weapons caused the flooding in the past, does this confirm that the weapon, the lasers used to destroy Lelouchia, that weapon is one of the ancient weapons? In which case, we know that Poseidon is Shirahoshi. We know that Pluton is in Wano. So does this confirm that that weapon to destroy Lelouchia is indeed Uranus? Possibly. Possibly. All right. And that very same firepower evidently still exists, just waiting to be used again. In other words, the Great War, which ravaged the world during the Void Century, is still ongoing, and we get Emu, who looks pissed, wide-eyed pissed. The genius sheds light on a forgotten history. This last panel really makes me think that Emu is going to take drastic measures. So the war never really ended. And I think this does kind of confirm that the weapon that destroyed Lelouchia is Uranus. Not 100% confirmed, but it like definitely that's what it points to, is that the weapon that destroyed Lelouchia Kingdom was Uranus. That's definitely what this points to. Because he said it was the ancient weapons that caused the flooding. And the results of the destruction of Lelouchia by the weapon used by the world government was the sea level rising. So it would have contributed to flooding to some extent. So to me, that says that the weapons so the world government has Uranus, essentially. Okay, that's not good. Did you watch the Netflix show, and what did you think of it? Yes, I did. Very, very good. Obviously, there were some changes, but it's an adaptation. And you're not going to have a direct one-to-one translation from the manga to a live-action series when it comes to a show like One Piece, but it keeps the spirit and the essence of the show. I think the cast was very well picked. Yes, I did watch the Netflix show, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Cannot wait for season 2. Really enjoyed it. So I'm of two minds on this. First of all, this is wild information, and on the one hand, I'm glad we're getting it because we've been waiting so long, dude. We've been waiting so long to get information on the Ancient Kingdom. That's a good thing. At the same time, where the hell is Robin? If we're going to get Ancient Kingdom stuff, if he's going to reveal the majority of the Ancient Kingdom information, Robin must be involved. Robin has to be involved because her character development is tied to that of O'Hara, and O'Hara was the ones researching the Ancient Kingdom. So this information getting out to the world, Robin should be involved in getting this information out to the world. And right now she's not, and that's not a good thing. So on the one hand, this information is freaking wild, and it makes a lot of sense given things that we know throughout the series. But on the other hand, I feel like Robin's getting shafted in what should be the most important moment for her character, and that's not good. Failure says it's damn near impossible to adapt anime/manga to live action. It would be so much cringy overacting. Yeah. That's why it's called an adaptation. What works in one medium, manga, does not necessarily work in a live action series. What works in a live action series would not necessarily work in a manga. So you have to adapt it according to the requirements of the medium. So yeah. But I think it does a good job. I think it does a real good job. Where is the transponder snail that is sending out this message? I really hope it's with Dragon. I really hope Dragon has a transponder snail that's responsible for sending out Vegapunk's message, because if so, it excuses why Dragon is not on Egghead. It really does, because he is contributing to what is happening on Egghead by keeping that transponder snail that transponder snail safe. So I really do hope that the transponder snail is actually with Dragon, because it would kind of redeem him somewhat. Because otherwise, why ain't you here, dude? Like, you have the top 5 dudes of the world government all in one spot. The only person not here is Emu. And given this last panel in the chapter, Emu might be pulling up. I don't know. Because Emu looks pissed. And obviously you guys can't see it because of the Straw Hat logo. Again, I do apologize, but copyright issues. But Emu looks pissed. Emu's got that wide-eyed look like Vegapunk. Emu's pissed. Emu's pissed. So we may see Emu next chapter take action. By the way, are we on break? Hold up, are we on break? Doesn't say so. So I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, so we're good. So we're not on break. That's good. That's excellent. Let me just look up real quick. One Piece break. I don't think so. I think we're good, man. Yeah, no break. All right, we're good. No break next week. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So, some other things that came out of this chapter. Joy Boy was defeated. I mean, we could kind of guess that because obviously the world government is in control of the world. The world government has control of things. So they obviously beat the Ancient Kingdom, and Joy Boy came from the Ancient Kingdom. They defeated Joy Boy. The fact that all those years ago, all those centuries ago, there were actual legit continents. It was not just a bunch of islands. Because I think, at least for me, when I thought about the Ancient Kingdom, I always thought about like Atlantis or Mu. Like one big ass continent somewhere in the world that just suddenly disappeared. But according to this, it was multiple vast continents all over the world. So we're not just talking about one spot like Atlantis. We're talking about the entire world was covered in continents, like our world. I didn't even consider that. I always thought it was like you had one continent, which was like an Atlantis type of continent, which was the Ancient Kingdom. Then you had smaller island nations. And, maybe the red line was the remnants of that Ancient Kingdom, the remnants of that continent. But according to this, no, it was I'm just trying to picture that in my head. Multiple vast continents. It's so weird thinking about the geography of One Piece into that in that respect. But it's all that sunk under. That's crazy. Like these ancient weapons must be freaking nasty, dog. I mean, this definitely hypes up the ancient weapons even more. All right. We're going to call it a stream. But this is wild. This was good. Good stuff, Oda. The only thing I would criticize here is that I want more with Nico Robin. Like, she needs to get involved in this now. Next chapter, I better see her get involved in this now. Like, I want to see Mars or Saturn or Venus Juro or whoever get close to stopping the message, and she jumps in and stops them from stopping the message. That would justify things. Like, no, you silenced O'Hara, but I'm not going to let you silence Vegapunk. This message is getting out. Something like that needs to happen with Robin. That's the only thing I would criticize about that. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next week for another live reaction and review of One Piece chapter 1116. Until the next one, This is JeskerJames with a Z, and I am signing out.